Thank you for your presence and your interest in our topic, tackling new ways of acquiring skills and producing knowledge beyond theoretical perspectives. For our presentation, first of all, I want to apologize. I'm a French speaker, so I'll manage to speak slowly so everyone can understand what I'm saying. For our presentation this morning will be three. First of all, I'll leave the floor to my supervisor, Dr. Moccozet, who is attending this session from Geneva. Laurent, I leave the floor to you to introduce yourself.
Okay, so hello from Geneva. I'm as Valérie just said, I'm sort of supervising and hosting her project here at the University of Geneva in the Computer Science Center, Research Center.
All right, thank you. And we also have our collaborator, Peterlee, Edouard, who is working on this research project with us on designing and implementing an open source platform. I leave the floor to you.
Good morning, everyone. As Dr. Valérie already said, my name is Frank, and I'm the one responsible for the technology package of this project. And I'm really happy to be here with you.
Thank you. So here I am, Valérie Payen Baptiste. I'm from Haiti, and I'm a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Geneva, where I also did my PhD. And so here I am, I will talk about the concept open education this morning because it's linked with my research interest, which is focused on the recognition of the multiplicity of modes of knowledge acquisition and production. As a researcher, I am not only interested in the way that knowledge is manifested by individuals, but also in the life experience, realities, and historical context where this knowledge is taking place and is being shaped. And on top of that, I'm also interested in mediation processes between digital technology use and appropriation and skills development in communities of practice. So with that being said, talking about open education, as we all know, the academic literature review reveals that the concept holds a core values, which refers to transparency, collaboration, cooperation, participation, and so on, to just mention a few. The concept is also one single component in a broad open ecosystem that comprise different thematic, for example, open innovation, open software, open resources, open science, just to mention a few. As a theoretical concept, open education is also polysemic. So that means there are different ways to understand the concept. Most of the time, individuals approach the concept as being an object that's supposed to be accessible and available to everyone. So that's why we observe a lot of dynamics in the research in academia to ease the access to learning facilities and materials, because education is supposed to be understood as a common good, a common resources. But on the other hand, we also observe a lot of research going on talking about decolonization and repair, which can be seen as a response to a long history of invisibility, disappropriation, history of epistemic violence, where people most of the time have been forced to acquire knowledge that is outside of their culture, of their reality. And as a response to that, research academic offer an alternative, like talking about open education by talking about community of belonging, local identity, in a way to see knowledge not as an object constructed outside of our realities, but an heritage, that is part of us, that we have the right to produce and contribute to. And we can see this concept manifesting in the Buen Vivir movement, initiated by Costa and Silva since 2002. That is really a proposed ecosystemic approach, a community-centered ecosystemic approach in order to understand open education, not in a state-centric way. And then our presentation will be focused on this last part, but we'll see at the end. So what I want to emphasize here is that the concept of openness that we are discussing here is intrinsically linked to the concept of commons, as it invites us to consider the construct creation of existing entity as shared resources that individual members of a community agree along to the value of these resources for the community, and where individual collectively agree upon the boundaries to set up the rules, the norms, the protocol, in order to manage and convert these resources for the whole good of the community. And basically, talking about openness and commons, it's to consider it as a culture based on a collective participation, construction, and commitment for the advancement of a community. That is my posture. So to move along, all these theoretical concepts have been observed in practice. And an ethnographic study that I conduct during my PhD research with the actors involving in sales and repairs communities of digital technologies in Haiti. Indeed, starting from 2017, I explore with the actors of this community the learning and skill development processes within the use and appropriation of digital technologies in these communities. In the field of scientific research, the question of repair and maintenance represent a secondary repair ecosystem, which stresses the importance of turning consumers into producers and engaged citizens. Indeed, in this community, we encounter actors who are interested not only in technology, but also in a way to produce, to innovate by doing with others, learning with others in a free and ecology manners. But although these communities are, let's say, represent a kind of resistance to the top-down technology transfer approach, and although we can see a lot of innovation process going on these kind of informal settings, so-called informal settings, but although even that, these communities are being considered as secondary system, a third place, and most of the time characterized as anarchy, lack of norms, rules, and even lack of innovation. However, what I've been observed during my ethnographic study is that not only the fact that these communities face a lot of work organizational constraints, and also the fact that they have been able to maintain themselves, to reproduce themselves in very difficult ways, these capabilities required a certain structure, a certain form of knowledge that sustained the system. And that's why I went there to understand the mode of organization, the knowledge being, emerging there. And then the research studies present, among other things, that the process of use, appropriation, transformation of digital technology in these informal settings are embedded in a particular form of work organization that they call colon. Colon is both an interpersonal and structural network system. It based on a mediation process where each individual, in order to integrate a digital sales and repair community, must do it via a trusted collaborator. This trusted collaborator will in turn become a mentor. And this is the mentor that they call colon. Keep in mind that the mentoring process in this community is not a linear process, but it's flexible because a mentor and an apprentice can switch turn depending on the needs, the works to be done. But the mediation process is very important in order for the newcomer to integrate the community, to get involved in the community, and to be fully participant. And the mentor is an it is someone who accompanied the newcomer to the life, the culture, the knowledge, and everything of the community. This kind of a network system established a trust dynamic where even when I was conducting my ethnographic study, I explored several types of digital repair communities in different areas. And in order to integrate, I needed that colon as well. And then each one of the large community know who is the colon, the trusted collaborator with whom each other is working with. And at the end, what I've also observed is the the communing actions, what I call as, it's a form of social economic solidarity. In these settings where there are lack of resources, they establish this kind of chain, this colon management to collaboratively and collectively manage the resources in order to give a response to isolation. So they are really constructed like a chain because they create a tie. So to go, I would like also to present this part, which is important because I also have been able to observe a lot of surprising innovation going there. Not only the fact for these actors who basically most of the time don't have any instructional training or training in computer science, nothing, have the knowledge, the skills to intervene in these tools that require them to pull out a lot of expertise and to collaborate with each other to achieve very complex tasks in order to disassembling, reassembling, to break this tool and to repair them, sometimes using informal objects like you can see a toothbrush, a candle, to overcome this black box. And something very interesting that I observed, and I've been working around in Switzerland with my wooden phone. It was a phone, unfortunately I didn't bring in there, but it's a phone made of wood. Completely, and that and from local resources. It was made by an artist who's only interested in that repair activity. So the production, as I mentioned here, of this wooden phone called Ateplat represent an act of recognition of an external produced technology into an artifact with a new identity, but which retains the modalities and functionalities of its predecessor, because the phone can place and answer calls, send messages, take photo and everything. So we see a lot of similarities with this mode of organization with the theory of communities of practice, because we've observed mutual engagement, shared directory, a joint virtue. But as this theory, the theory of communities of practice, help us understand the characteristics of this kind of community, it doesn't give sufficient information to understand the genesis part of this community, how they can be implemented and how they can be reproduced. And Cologne complete this theory by informing us how we can implement and sustain this kind of community through a mediation process, the mentoring process, the communing, and also the innovation activities that took place in there. Following my PhD studies, I received a grant to continue this research. in order to develop an open source platform based on that particular model of work organization, this platform will be a guide for improving and assessing collaborative skills in communities of practice. And the expected outcome is to offer a guide to digital manufacturing professionals for the design and execution of collaborative and training projects. So the question was for us, all of these theory, these new form of work organization that is rooted in a traditional way of doing things, how can we transform it and implement it in digital technology that can represent this model of this knowledge model without without losing a lot of things. And then also, how can this model contribute to the development of both technical and not technical skills related to innovation, collaboration, ecology, critical and creative thinking in the digital and AI ecosystem? So we understood that we had to explore our model through various digital fabrication communities and establish interconnection with their practice, and also to mobilize the acquired knowledge in the design and implementation of the platform. The objective pursuing in that research were to develop this, and design and develop an open source platform in order to assist actors in these facilities in acquiring and improving their collaborative skill, acquiring of innovative manufacturing practice in communities of practice, and to develop collective and network work competencies. So that's what we did. With the model, we went there. We explored with different kind of digital fabrication communities, and with different types of fab labs, makerspace, hackerspace in Cameroon, Haiti, Montreal, also in Geneva. We combined two methodological models, the concept knowledge and critical making, to go from the theory to the practice, and in interactive process to design from the practitioners to get their information. And all of that, all these data were collected, analyzed, and we designed a new model for the design and development of the platform. And now I'll leave the floor to Frank, who is the designer, and he will present you the platform. But what I want to say that in the platform, we try to represent at least 4 basic elements of what have been observed during my ethnographic studies. So the mentor, who is an element of an important person. So the actors coming in the platform will be accompanied by a mentor. And then the relationship connection, so being able to connect, to interact with other actors, and being able to build also a trusted network. So we'll see how we think about it. And also we also work on skills framework in order to help people position themselves in regard to the technical and non-technical skills. So I leave the floor to you. Thank you.
Good morning again. Nowadays, every platform that exists already have a digital presence. The best way to build a digital presence is to have a website. The website is the easiest way to build a digital presence in our world. To be able to build a digital presence for a platform, I think this is the website that we build. When you go to the website, we will ask you several information about yourself. Why? In order to have a mentor that will be able to accompany you to the website, we will need some information about you, who you are, What are your skills? What are profile? Like, are you a teacher? Are you a student? Or are you someone in the digital fields, in education? So we will need some information about you. Why? In the next slide, you will see why we want to have some information about you. And if you are new to the website, you will have this page to give us all of the information. And if you already have an account, you can continue and connect yourself to the website in order to continue. After having access to the website, the next things you will see it's who we are, what is platform, and what are our focus group. And on this page, you will be able to see on the left side, networks. Why? On the network, after having access to the website, you'll be able to see your profile. And if you want to edit it, I like to add more information about yourself. Like I can create my account in January, but in February, I got a new skills. I got a new profile. You can be able to edit it and to update it in order to those one on the platform to learn more about yourself. After, we have 6 networks on this platform. So when you are creating an account, after giving us all of the information that we need, the best thing we will try to do, we will try to give you a mentor. A mentor, we will be able to, okay, if Frank is on the platform, Frank is good at computer science. Frank is good to teach computer science. So I will try to see what will be the best network to put Frank to help others in their project, to help others in their goals, to help others in their studying fields. After, when you have access to this page, that's not mean that you will be able to access to any networks you want. First of all, we will see your profile and see, okay, if Frank is on the platform, what is the best network to Frank to have access? So when you click on the simmer button, you will be able to have a quick information about the education networks. In the same way, if you click on Makerspace, you will have a quick overview about the Makerspace. And if after reading all of the information, you can say to yourself, oh, I like this network. I want to be part of this network. So after, you can ask to be part of this network. After asking us to have access, you will have a mentor that say, okay, Frank, we will receive your request. So we will go back to your profile to see what are your keys, your skills, what are your focus information, what are your profile. After receiving all of the information, you can say, okay, Frank, based on what you asked us and based on your profile, you can have access to the education networks. Or if we see that you will be better or you will be more important in the Reaper Community Network, we will suggest you, hey Frank, thank you for your request. What do you think about the Reaper Community Network? It will be better for you based on these topics, based on the subject that we discuss in this network. After you made a request, we as mentor, Dr. Valérie as mentor, and Mr. Laurent Moccozet as mentor, we will be able to see all of the information about you. Where here we have access to all of the network. We can see every participant in each network on the website. And after your request, we'll be able to click. If I want to Dr. Valérie profile, I will be able to see what are her skills, what are her key points. So after viewing all of this information, I will be able to see, okay, this is the best network that Dr. Valérie will be able to access, because she will be able to help others. She will be able to help others in their project, in their goals, or in the topics that we will discuss in this network. And after, when I will be able to give you the access, me as a mentor, Dr. Valérie as a mentor, or Mr. Laurent as a mentor, you will receive an email from us to say, hey, welcome to the education network. or welcome to the Repair Community Network, or welcome to the Makerspace Network, based on the network that you have access to. And after granting you the access, you will be able now to access to the network. Like you see, you will be able to chat with others or share your project with others to let them know, okay, I'm working on a project on my education journey. Can you help me with this project? Or can you help me with these goals? So every time someone asks us about a subject, about a project, the best thing we do as a mentor, we'll be able to build a topics based on what the people ask us. So this is why on the right hand you will see the topics fields. That's mean if I have access to a group or to a network, I will be able to see, okay, on this network they discuss about these topics. So if I click on topics 1, topics 2, depend on what we discuss, I will be able to help based on what I know, based on my skills, based on what I learn at school, or based on what I learned from my work. I will be able to help others with it. On this page, you will be able to see our case goal. It's about to help others as a mentor. It's about to help others as a colon. Because sometimes we can teach others what we know. We can teach others what we can do. So nowadays, the best thing that can help in most of enterprise, most of organization is the networking. Because when I know something, I can teach it to you. So you don't need to go to school or to go to an online school, because we learn more by experience. We learn more by practice than by taking a course. So on this page, you will be able to see who are in the chat with you, who are in the network with you. You will be able to see all of the participants. So if I can say, okay, who are these participants? Are they a good education field? I can click to see, okay, when I click on one of them, what are their case school? What are their skills? What they can do? Why are you here? So with those information, I will be able to see, okay, I can trust you because on your profile, I see X information. On your profile, I saw information. So it's very helpful for me. It's very comfortable for me. After having all of the information for the topics, or we build the topics, or we can help someone about the topics. So what now? I will leave the floor to Dr. Valérie again. She will explain you more about each topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. And I'll try to go as fast as possible. So as you understand, thank you. As you understand, our research interest lies in how to help people develop their collaborative skills and co-design project in communities of practice based on this particular type of model, the colon. So at the beginning, you see all this information and the construction of your participation with a mentor to guide you in the interface. And something that also is developing is the fact that we also allow people to request the position of mentor in the network. So it will not be a position that being held by only us. So people also will be able to evolve being a mentor. So let's say the valuable part of this platform is not only a digital collaborative platform where people can interact in this area what we want to design as a playground. That's what we say, like in the digital fabrication communities, people want to like to share resources, but the most valuable part is the co-design process, and this is where we really focus our research, how we can guide people to co-design, you know, without depriving the ecological process of these digital fabrication communities. So let's say at the beginning, you want to design a new communication device for the future, as the artist in Haiti did with Ateplat. So you enter a subject, in the platform. The subject the mentor will receive your interest and will display a survey toward the community. So each actors will receive a survey to position themselves in regard to this project. First of all, they will inform about their skills, why they want to join the project, their skills for this project, their roles, what roles. Okay, I'm fine with that. Thank you. The roles for being part of this project, and also their interest and the reason. What will be their kind of contribution, but what they want to participate to interact with others. This is important because what we observe is that in these kind of communities of practice, it's really an intercultural approach. People integrate community based on the fact that they see in the project something that will help build their identity. So it's not, it's as they call it in academia, it's indigenous. It's an indigenous vision of quality. So you integrate a project, you integrate a community based on the fact that everyone know who you are, what are your interests, and that's the key point to start building the transparency, the trust community. And then when they will bring, and when all actors respond to that survey, so they will start to define an answer to the project altogether, while everyone else will know who is there and for what reason. So it's very transparent. So I mean, we wish that it will be very transparent. So the first step, in our model, we have 4 steps. So we are not going to go through all these steps. So the first one is to define an answer, why you want to build that project, what values you will bring, what are the motivation, what is not negotiable. So, people just put information in organic way. They will draw up a list of activities to be carried out and a lot of other things. And the most important part is that we develop the co-design part in a way that people can gather, discuss, validate their information in multimedia, and where they can share multimedia in different ways, by texting, by sharing resources, image and everything. But we will also implement an agent, AI, it's better to say it that way, and that holds the expert model. Because at the end, when you finish to brainstorm and co-design this project with your peers, you can click on the link to see how you can find out the scenario of your project. So based on the information that you enter before, now you have a demo. For example, Laurent and Frank played around to build this device. Now the AI gathered all the information, summarized the project goal, list all the activities that they already put in place, they said that they already thought about, and then we'll give a list of other activities that are important to focus on in order to achieve their goal. It will also give them information about, based on their skills that they informed before, the agent will show up a scenario where we can find, okay, I have this skill for the project, but these are the other technical and non-technical skills that you have to focus on in order to achieve your goal. And also, the most important part, in your network, you say that you are 4 working on that project and this is your profile. But in order to pursue, to carry out this project, you need other actors. And in the agent that we want to implement, we'll be able not only to draw a list of actors that are important to help you out, but also to point out to the other actors that are in the networks that can gather with you in that project. So here we are with platform, trying to develop it in respect, for the most part, of this model that we observe and we survey during my thesis research and during this postdoctoral research. And basically, we want to to present this particular way of co-constructing things together and in open mode, but basically because in these fabrication digital technology communities, people are very underground, doing things with machine and tools in an ecological way. And that's what we want to share. So thank you for your participation, and I leave the floor for a question. We would like to hear you about our project. What do you think about it? What is the limits? Then what else we have to focus on? Thank you.
Do we have any questions? Or questions online?
There's a question.
No. Good morning. Thank you for this talk. Really interesting. Can you talk a little bit more about the process of someone finding a mentor? How does is it that the mentors are looking for someone to mentor, or the student work, or the person looking for a mentor reaches out, or can you talk a little more about how that would work?
Okay, thank you for your question. It's a very interesting question, because this mentor part is the one that we've been focused more on it, developing this platform. For now we are only 8 months since the project start, and the prototype is, the mentor is someone who is already in the administration system. So it's being, the role is being played by me and my supervisor, Dr. Moccozet, and also our designer, Frank. But, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. This is the research team that is collaborate with us in the project. And all of these people also are working with us in developing the skills framework. So at the end of the project, when we'll start the UX test, we'll see how many of us will be able to play different mentor role in each community. And for now, we want to regulate it ourselves. We are not opening yet for other people in the network to become a mentor. But furthermore, we want to grant people the possibility of requesting the possibility of being a mentor in the platform. So first of all, you have to be an actor, a member of a network. You have to, the interviews that we made, people say that the best way, the actors of these communities said that we are, people don't look like as mentor. They say that we are all experts of our field. So we just need someone to accompany us in doing a project. So depending on how you respond, the very important information that you give, you can request on that, and the others will validate the access, the position that you request. But we are not there yet. Oh, okay.
We have time for one more question from online. Brian Hickam asks, well, first he says, interesting project, exclamation point. Has there been any discussion of liaisons who would work to facilitate communication between people who have different worldviews, not just languages?
Different what? Sorry.
Worldviews, ways of seeing the world.
Ah. Okay. I don't know. You want to answer that, Laurent? So if I understand well, is that if people can participate because they have different worldviews, not because they are interested in digital technologies, right? As you can see in the network, we also have surveyed people working in the artisan. And, in why we choose these communities is because these communities are set as a very broad ecosystem. Everyone can participate, not only IT people or people interested in AI, but we see students, professors working together with engineers and with artists, someone who is just an artist and interested something. So what is very interesting in these settings is that all of these people gather together, share their skills. So yet you're welcome if you have different different views of the world, like you want to contribute in some way, yes, you're welcome. And yeah, I don't want, this young lady has a question, I think.
Well, and unfortunately, I think that's all that we have time for. And
All right.
so what I would ask is, please, let's give another round of applause. This is a really incredible project.
Thank you. Thank you all, and we'll be happy to continue discussing about that.